So starting off with one of my babies, okay? Mitts. All right. So with these mitts, all right, this is what we're trying to accomplish. All right, accuracy, hand and feet coordination, and then hand speed. Okay. The accuracy part is all these things go hand in hand, but I can't preach accuracy enough. All right, and how important it is. Okay. And if you see kind of down here, you'll see some at the bottom, okay, where you'll see this little acronym or whatever, toe, all right? Technique over everything, all right? That's important. So all these drills, if you master them, don't get guys cannot get bored with drills, all right? I mean, you're a craftsman. You're a craftsman, and the more you craft this stuff and believe in the technique and play with great technique, nothing else matters. It ain't a play call that guys can come up with. None of that stuff matters if guys playing with the perfect technique, and accuracy with the hands is one of them. Okay, so I'll be standing here, and right now these mitts, all they are is just old fashioned boxing mitts. Okay, boxing mitts or MMA mitts, and I like these because it's a small target. Okay, it's not a I mean, it's not like hitting a bag where I mean you got to be whatever not to hit these not to hit them big bags. Okay, so these mitts are a smaller target, and we'll do all our moves on here. So we'll do swipes right here. We doing swipes, so really getting them to throw that swipe. And I'm a little bit different with the swipe. You can see how he's really using it as a blocking mechanism. Okay, so really from his wrist to his elbow is really where I want to aim for my swipe. I don't want to use the back of my hand. Okay, reason being, it's a small target versus small target. Okay, it gave me uh room for error, even if I mistime my swipe. All right, and if I mistimed it, and he grabs me, offensive lineman got his hands on me. I got a better chance of still breaking through the swipe with using that meat part of from my wrist to the top of my elbow. If I use that meat part of my forearm, okay, I'm able to break through his strike because of how powerful that is. But if I try to swipe it and with my backhand, using my backhand, hands are flimsy. The hand has no power. I got more power with my forearm. So you'll see all these guys really emphasizing staying nice and tight with my swipe and using that forearm. So I know that's a little bit different, like this right here. Not seeing it all the way through. Look at the difference between the first guy, seeing it all the way through, seeing his move, seeing his swipe all the way through, versus this one where now he's striking blind. I want to see my hands land, okay, and I don't want to use my backhand. I want to use my forearm. All right, like that. That's beautiful, beautiful. Getting that toe pointed, getting our feet involved. All right, really good right there. Okay, so we go through swipes. Okay, we go through swipes, make him do it again. Now we can do it just with one arm swipe. Okay, this is a little bit different. I don't need both hands to swipe. If you're doing it the right way, you just the inside hand swipe as he shoot. I'm just blocking it with that inside forearm. And now I can use his backhand to either pull myself through on the back of the tricep or the back of the shoulder plate, pull myself through and finish. But really, the main focus is this inside hand for the swipe. Okay, and I know this might be a little bit different to like the most. It's not really a common teaching. All right, and I know it might be different than a lot of people on this, but I truly believe that just a simple swipe, if it's perfected the right way, nice and tight, it's a daily move. Being surgical with your hands. All right. All right. So now we working the chop. Okay. So now we're working the chop. So now you can see just really just placing our hand, really seeing it through. And I want them over exaggerating it. Okay. Yeah, we really ain't gonna never grab the hand. Okay. We're not gonna do that. But in the sake of this drill, That's what we wanna assimilate. Just so now I know they see the target. They see the target. They strike him. They see it. We extremely accurate with it. We got control of it. Because now if I get that hand down, now the top part is easy. So we just working the chop right here. Getting control of that hand or that wrist. All right. Swipes again. All right. Really good job. Always finishing with the top of the rush part too is critical. All right. Getting our feet pointed and turned in the right direction. So more important, more importantly, y'all gonna hear me talking a lot about the hands, and you're gonna also hear me talking a lot about our footwork. Your footwork is critical in kind of everything that you do in a run game, pass rush game, whatever. Your foot is just as important. So I know this is a hands emphasis session, but the footwork part is a must and need to be coached on everything, because we don't get a lot of opportunities. You like in practice, you always hear it. You never get an opportunity. It's the most under coached part in football is defensive linemen finishing on quarterbacks and finishing their rushes. Okay, because you stay away from the quarterback. Stay away from the quarterback. Yeah, yeah. We can't get those guys hurt. Okay, all right. So within that, we develop bad habits. Okay, like at the top of it, just veering off where it's gonna be a fight all the way to the end at the top of it. We need to create as much space and condense that space much as possible. All right. I mean, that's why you see guys getting flybys and getting ran past the quarterback is because of those habits that you develop in good on good where you can't really finish turning the corner and stuff. So when you get a chance to drill it in every drill, there's got to be a point of emphasis. All right. This is a really good drill too to kind of get guys warmed up and kind of get loose, get their blood flow going. So, all right. So now we going with the double club. Okay. Yeah. This is getting these guys to throw. Okay. I'm close. I need to throw another one. Getting these guys' hands and feet moving. Okay. Not throwing on stationary targets, being accurate. So throwing a double club right here. Okay. So you can see too. All right. Strike uh why guys throwing too late and too soon. Okay. All right. So that was good right there. And watch out, he throw too late. All right. He should be throwing this way sooner. All right. If I was the offensive tackle, I'd have been and got hands on him. Okay. So getting these guys the depth perception is kind of one where you got to get these guys throwing on time and not throwing too late, not throwing too soon. And I like how he coming with this thing with some juice. Okay. So where this show up at is just simple swipes. I think it's going to be number 6 over here to the boundary. Okay. Swipes, getting across. All right. But this is the part that I'm talking about at the top of it. All these times where in practice we just veer off. Okay. Uh, just because we got to stay across the quarterback. This is the most important part. This should be a W. We got to lean. I call this stepping over. We have to, excuse my language though, step over our balls. We step over our balls, we running right past this guy, and we able to finish nice and tight. Okay. Let me see which one it's gonna be. Okay. So it's gonna be 6 again on the swipe. Watch his strike zone. I think this is one of the most important parts too. So I call this the strike zone. Okay. Right here. So it's his chest. This box right here is a strike zone. If I was a batter, all right, that's my strike zone. I always want to minimize my strike zone in my rush. Never give my checks exposed where I give this offensive tackle a lot of room to punch. Okay. I want to shrink that strike zone. All right. So now even if I do miss, I can run through his hand or I can go with another counter, but I got enough power and speed built up, all right, where I can go into my next move. But so good swipe right here, or good club, all right, good club, beating it and finishing.